Would you want TVD to come back next year or move on to Jake? I'm ready to move on after this year.
I'm open to either, honestly. The way that the season is going, I'm not really thinking that Tyler's going to leave, but winning games in college is not a prerequisite to going to the NFL. And if you can separate yourself from the thought that wins are a quarterback stat, right? He does not have to do that. It's not like, okay, I need to do I need to win these games. So now you probably do want to win those games because then you can, talk about momentum and, being a captain and champion and everything or winning games, because quarterback is not like every other position. Quarterback is de facto an extension of management. You know what I mean? At every level. Like, they're the ones who are going to do the big press conferences and things. Like, they're the ones who are going to talk more. Like, you're going to have management, like the ownership aligned with, and then with the quarterback, and the quarterback is going to be the one who they put in front of the people because you know him to propagate that message. All these things, so it's really important. That's a really important position. And like I was saying, potential gets you fired. Hey man, quarterbacks will get you fired at the next level. So I say all that to say, if Tyler believes that another year here is his best option, I am not pulling a what was the coach at NC State? O'Brien?
Tom O'Brien.
I'm not pulling a Tom O'Brien with Russell Wilson, right? If you don't know that story, Russell Wilson was drafted in the baseball draft, and he played quarterback at NC State for 3 years. But he was a fourth-year junior, and Tom O'Brien thought, he thought that Russell Wilson was going to go play baseball. He was like, I'm just going to move on to Sean Glennon at quarterback. He wanted to go to Sean Glennon. So then Russell Wilson was like, cool, coach. So fifth-year senior coming back. Like, we just had a 9-win season. It's going to be great. And unequivocally, and this is substantiated by everyone, Tom O'Brien told Russell Wilson, seek shelter elsewhere. You will not be playing here next year. Wherever you want to go transfer, I will help. But you will not be playing here this year because we're going to this kid and he's going to run our offense. And then you saw what happened, and that ended up getting him fired, right? Like, we thought, hey, quarterbacks will get you fired. This is what I'm talking about. So I am not pulling a Tom O'Brien, and I'm not telling Tyler Van Dyke if he wants to come back. I am not telling him, look, seek shelter elsewhere. I will call any single coach, but you got to go. In seats taken. I am not doing that. Right. And I know a lot of people want us to do that. Now, if Tyler Van Dyke does believe that his journey should continue with another year here at Miami, be prepared to lose Jake Garcia. I was literally saying it as the chat from Michael Long. Jake will leave if TVD comes back. I think I'm down to, have it be a position battle. Like, whoever best man wins the job, and we ride. One of those dudes is going to go, because you're going to have a fourth-year player in Tyler Van Dyke and a third-year player in Jake Garcia. And the prospect of either leaving the prospect of, it would be a challenge, because I think that Ja'Cory Brown needs another couple mango seasons. Like, even watching him in warmups, he is big and strong and has this incredible arm, but like, he ain't ready for prime time, buddy. He is not ready to, to throw that ball like we need the quarterback position to throw the ball. And regardless of who leaves, you're one snap away from the Ja'Cory Brown show, which would have some great episodes, but would also have some challenging moments. I'm Switzerland, honestly. I don't really care one way or the other. There are positives and negatives to either one. Tyler versus Jake going into next year. Obviously, the demonstrated work product and performance of Tyler Van Dyke is the biggest positive. Strong as Tyler's arm is, I think Jake's arm is maybe even a tick stronger. You know, he's a little bit more mobile, especially as you're developing this offensive line. So, and I'm not saying that he's going to be Lamar Jackson about it, but maybe if he, you know, if he can be Drake May athletic, which I think he can, right? So you're escaping a little bit of pressure, you're extending plays, you're rolling out, you run for 12 or 13 yards if they play man free and everybody's back is turned to you. That could be really helpful, right? So I think that there are positives and negatives either way. I struggle to see the calculus to where both Tyler and Jake return next year. I can't see that. That's a puzzle that I can't solve, because in reality, you're going so far down, you know, into their careers, and you get a free transfer still, right? You know, through the transfer portal. Now you can't enter the portal right now because they have the windows and but you can declare, hey, look, I'm not playing here anymore. I'm going somewhere else. And you also run the risk, if both of them do come back, of a Trevor Lawrence, Kelly Bryant, 4 games and then dip. De'Aaron King, who actually did that of his own volition at Houston, 4 games, and he said, look, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna sit out the rest of this year, preserve my red shirt, or preserve my year of eligibility to transfer somewhere else. I don't think, and it's a good problem to have, but you know, yeah. Well, first of all, I don't see a way where both of them come back, and I'm putting all my eggs in the Ja'Cory Brown basket because Ja'Cory Brown's also been here. But if you get Emory Williams and Jaden Rashada on campus, then that adds quality depth. Now, I'm not saying I want to lean on a true freshman, and I keep bringing up the backups because you're one snap away in an injury from the starter being gone, like we're seeing. So, yeah, that's a multifaceted conversation. But yeah.